Hi there. If you've tuned into this podcast, it's probably because you're in that exact state where you just don't feel like doing anything. No thoughts, no actions, no obligations. Not even the desire to get out of this state. And that's okay. Really. Not okay in a comforting cliché way, but truly okay, as a natural outcome of burnout, losing inner connection, or maybe a message trying to be heard differently. Today we won't talk about just get up and do something. We'll take another path. We're not going to do. We're going to be. The pause between you and the world when you don't feel like doing anything. It doesn't mean you've become weak or ineffective. It means there's a pause between you and reality. As if everything suddenly feels too far away, or too close. The world speaks too loudly, and you, too quietly. What if, instead of fighting this state, you tried to explore it? Not as a problem to fix, but as a letter from your inner self you haven't read in a while. Sit down. Not to change anything, but simply to remain. Pause not for productivity, but to ask nothing of yourself for once. Human sleep as a metaphor, you sleep every night. Why? Because the body can't be active all the time. So why do you think the soul can? There are periods of wakefulness, and there are periods of sleep. But in between lies that subtle, often invisible space, drowsiness. What we call not wanting to do anything is emotional drowsiness. Not action, not rest, but transition. And in it might lie the most crucial point on your journey. Permission to be useless when you're not doing anything. It starts to feel like you're useless. But think about it. Why is being useless bad? That's a belief. We've been taught that every moment must be for good, growth, results, efficiency, goals. Now imagine you're a tree. It doesn't do anything. It just grows. Or doesn't. It stands bare in winter. And that's okay too. Give yourself permission not to grow. Not to shine. Not to bear fruit. Why humans need inner stillness. Picture an ocean. It can be many things: stormy, shining, warm, cold, roaring, moonlit. But sometimes, it's still. That's calm. And in calm, you suddenly see depth. Not the surface, not movement, not noise, but what lies underneath. When you don't want to do anything, that's your personal stillness. The problem isn't the absence of desire. It's that you've mistaken yourself for your desires. You think that without wanting, you've disappeared. But really, you've just stopped making noise. Try not to fill this calm with action. Look at it. Ask yourself, what's beneath? And if no answer comes, that's fine. Sometimes silence is the answer. Radical practice, doing exactly what you want, even if it's nothing. Okay, you're lying on the bed. You don't feel like doing anything. Not even eating. Not even talking. You lie there because that's the most your will can do right now. Now ask, not what should I do? But do I want to lie here consciously? Paradox, if you allow yourself to truly do nothing, without guilt, comparison, or judgment, that nothing gains texture. It becomes space, not emptiness. You can practice this like meditation. Lie down, don't turn anything on, don't distract yourself, and let your body be still, and your mind stop fighting. Sometimes only through nothing does real something arrive. Not getting out of the state, but going deeper into it. You want this state of I don't want anything to end. Understandable. But let's try another way. What if you don't exit it, but enter it, like a forest? Yes, the forest is dark. There are no parts, no signs. But in that forest, you can find what you'd never see in the bright city. Walking through your inner forest may be scary. You'll encounter abandoned thoughts, forgotten pains, memory gaps, ghosts from the past. But you'll also meet yourself, the real one. Not the one who wants, does, achieves, but the one who feels. What if your don't want to is I can't pretend anymore? Here's a rarely discussed idea. When you don't want to do anything, maybe it's your psyche refusing to play a game where you no longer believe in the rules. You're not lazy. You're not depressed. You're honest. And the only thing you no longer want is to lie. To yourself. The world. People. Work. Your roles. Then the real question is, where am I pretending? What am I doing because I have to, not because it's alive? The answers may hurt, but they may also set you free. We live in a society that fears silence. Notice how quickly silence creates anxiety. Phone dies. Panic. Internet gone. Panic. Life on hold. We feel out of the game. But the issue isn't the silence. It's the echo we hear in it. That echo is our forgotten, repressed voices. And when we don't want anything, they start to speak louder. Try asking, which voices haven't I listened to in a while? Body voice? Desire voice? Fear voice? Anger voice? When you don't want anything, it might be space for these voices to return. Not to control you, but so you stop locking them in the basement. Nature doesn't work without pauses. Look at the trees. They have winter. And in winter, they look dead. But during that time, deep inner processes occur, resources accumulate, growth patterns reset. Humans need winter too. Not calendar winter, inner winter. If you're in a don't want anything state, ask, what is ripening in my silence? Or even better, what needs to die for something new to be born? Sometimes, a lack of desire is the inner death of an outdated part of your identity. And you don't need to revive it. Let it die with dignity. Stop escaping into should. One trap is the habit of escaping apathy through task lists. But if you feel pain and don't process it, it just goes deeper. A friend once said, I became an honor student in procrastination. I never postpone, I just do the wrong things. You can't be alive if you're always running on autopilot. When you feel like doing nothing, it might be your first honest talk with yourself. I don't want to be a cog. I don't want to be convenient. I don't want to live by the script. And here's what matters. Don't blame yourself for this. Rediscovering desire isn't about stimulation. Motivation is external. Pressure. Go on, you can do it. Desire is internal, a delicate signal. When you don't want anything, don't try to activate yourself. Try listening to the current inside. Here's an experiment. Disconnect from all external signals for a day. No social media, no music, no news. Don't plan anything. Write down any impulse, even silly ones. Get up, drink water, touch the ground, walk barefoot. Don't filter. Live the day listening only to inner signals. You won't find big answers, but you'll find threads. And they weave desire. Exhaustion from meaning. And one last honest version. Maybe you're tired of meaning itself. Tired of being purposeful, useful, deep. Sometimes I don't want anything is rest from depth. Even depth can be exhausting. You have the right to be shallow. The right not to grow. The right not to evolve. It's radical, but important. And once you claim that right, maybe, just maybe, you'll finally want to live. Because no one's pulling you toward better anymore. And here you are, at the end of this episode. Maybe you still don't want anything. And that's still okay. But now, in that nothing, there's space. There's air. There's shape. And maybe, from that space, quietly, but truthfully, something new will arise. I want this.